This was a spread I pulled for myself, but I decided to turn on the camera for this part here. So it could be for you, but don't force it if it doesn't fit. So I'm kind of looking at this. The Two of Swords come underneath the Five of Cups, and yeah, I mean, people would say like mourning over spilled cups, or I mean, there might be some kind of like mental paralysis, and you're like refusing to look at your options, right? Maybe there's some emotional heartbreak, causing some avoidance in a sort of stalemate situation. Maybe you, I mean, it's like you blindfolded yourself, because processing the loss just feels impossible, right? This pain, maybe keeps you, if it's resonating in terms of limbo, it's just like someone who got hurt so bad, they shut their eyes, or maybe spiritual eyes, completely to protect themselves. Maybe you were operating psychically or prophetically, and either betrayals or just seeing what the reality of everything was too much. I'm going to keep going with the world reversed in Nine of Wands. I'm not even trying to do reversals here, but we have a friend here helping with the reading. It's like what's funny is they don't mess with it until the camera comes on. And I've heard other people say that too, but it's been true like twice today. Okay, so maybe this is this journey isn't finishing because you're in this kind of constant battle mode. Vigilant, wounded, and because things were delayed from being completed, it's only further like breeding this sort of, it's a paranoia, or just it's a weariness of someone who's been fighting too long. If maybe your defensive walls are still up because there's a lack of closure, and some of these wars just never officially end. But if there's unfinished business at this soul level, it could be, this could turn into physical exhaustion and guardedness. I mean, somebody is tired as hell here, because the cycle that they were in just keeps repeating without any resolution. But the world reverse isn't letting them rest, so they're staying in the 9 of Wands energy because they're still holding up their staff. They're waiting for the next attack. Then you can't. In that mode, it's hard to celebrate anything because the completion never signals it's safe to put the weapons down. And so the Ace of Swords above this Empress here, that's the truth cutting into the illusions. There's some ingredients needed for proper healing and integration, and so it's a clarity arriving from above. It does allow the sort of mixing of opposites in something harmonious. The sword will remove what's preventing moderation and patience and the flow that we all need to thrive. I mean, this is wild because the Ace of Swords is literally the gift that makes the temperance possible. Without that truth, without that clarity, it's cutting through all the BS. It's hard to do the healing work that temperance represents. So if this sword comes and slices away lies and confusion and deception, then the temperance, we can actually mix the water and fire together. So I believe for you there's a revelation that's going to completely change how you approach healing and balance in your life. As we move into the Queen of Pentacles above the 10, there's this nurturing, grounded wisdom that's building a legacy, right? This practical caretaker, steady hands is constructing a generational wealth and family security. And so that's what the other energies were preventing you from getting towards. It's this Queen's ability to tend resources and wisely create the dynasty and inheritance. There. The 10 of Pentacles doesn't just appear. It comes from the Temperance and the Queen who knows how to nurture abundance over time. So this is someone who's practical wisdom and this sort of grounded approach ends up creating the wealth that lasts for generations. Not just taking care of herself, but she's building something that the family and it's just energy. It could be male or female, whoever's hearing this, but or a mix here. It's just it's just the energy, but it's that generational wealth there. And so, but it also can be generational purpose. It's not financially, but it's building something that sustains and can be passed on. Yeah, I will say, yeah, because horizontally, the Five of Cups to the world here is that grief that leads to incompletion. The grief is the cycle that maybe you feel like isn't ending, or is needing to be ended, but that's where it shifts with this Ace of Sword coming in like a lightning bolt, cutting it through, and just like removing all the fog, bringing that breakthrough, the truth to like slice through the illusion that was keeping you stuck. And when you get that clarity, you do become the Queen of Pentacles, the grounded, nurturing someone who knows how to build abundance with steady hands. So it's showing you how to go from heartbroken to awakened, to builder, into that loss that had you trapped. The trauma. It's this is where you process the grief, get the revelation you need, and step into get the proper energy. The Two of Swords to Nine of Wands. If you're refusing to look at the choices in front of you as like this sort of exhausted warrior, beaten up and still standing, there was this avoidance that created the battle. Remember, the battle made you want to avoid. Obviously, we talked about wounded, defensive, paranoid, but then with the temperance of the healing and the balance and the integration of opposites, it is taking what seems opposite and making it work together. And the alchemy, the moderation, the patience, all that you need that will transform the struggle into wisdom and lessons. And that, again, creates that material abundance here. So what a great note to end on here. I love it when there's not only a linear flow, but then to end on the Ten of Pentacles it definitely feels like inspired. So the whole spread is just two parallel tracks of moving from pain to prosperity, processing the loss, getting stuck in the cycle, receiving the truth, and becoming the practical builder. From avoiding decisions, fighting battles, to finding balance, and then manifesting. So in the middle is where the magic of the truth and the healing really begin there. So there's definitely a great positive hope and light at the end of the tunnel here that you're gonna get through this is the message of this one. So bless you. More to come. Please like and subscribe so I can do more of these.